Welcome guys, now what you are seeing in this figure is the assembly of a knuckle joint. We are going to draw this using our Catia software. So as you can see, there are three components, three major components here. Let us see the detailed drawing. We are having an eye end rod, a fork end rod and a knuckle pin, and also there are some small components like collar and taper pin. So let us try to draw the components one by one, and finally we will assemble that. Let us draw the first component, that is a fork end rod today. Let us open the Catia software and go to Start, Mechanical Design, Part Design, and we are drawing this fork end rod. So let us name this as fork end. Now we have to draw this component first. So in order to draw this component, we can draw this top face and we can extrude that, otherwise we can pad that. So for drawing this top surface, we have to draw this particular arc and this circle. So by drawing this two circles, we can start drawing. So let us see the dimensions of those circles. This is having a radius of 30 mm and this is 26, so the inside radius will be 13. So let us draw two circles at the center. I am taking the top plane and starting sketch. So if you want the tools, we can drag that and we can place that anywhere. So I have taken this sketching toolbar as well as the constraints here. Okay, so let us draw two circles. That should be having radius of 30, another one is having radius of 13. So click that and go to this constraint, you will get the dimension. So the dimension of this is, the radius is 13 mm and the radius of outside circle is 30 mm. We have drawn that. And then we have to draw two lines along this small circle that is tangent to that. So let us draw two lines, otherwise we can draw a rectangle. Okay, we can specify this line as tangent to that circle. Okay, now we have drawn that line as a tangent to that circle. Okay, here as you see, the dimension from this small circle and this point is 35 mm. So let us draw this rectangle up to 35 mm. This is 35 mm and we can trim this parts out. Here we can extend this line up to this point and we can draw a rectangle up to this point. So now we can trim this unwanted portions. These 2 points should be coincident, so let us give that as a constraint. Okay, here we are having a 26 mm square rod, so draw that 26 mm rectangle here. This rectangle is having a dimension of 26 mm and that should be symmetric to this center. So here we have to click these 3 lines and we have to give the constraint as symmetry. So now these 2 lines are symmetric to this. Now let us see the length. From this point we are having 60 minus 35, so 25 mm here and 35 mm here. So 25 plus 35, 60. From this point we are having 60 mm here. From the small circle we are having 60 mm. Okay, now let us extend this line in order to trim that. This is actually 44. Let us make this as 48 so that it is easy to trim. Okay, now use this trim option and trim out these lines. Okay, now we have drawn this part and here also we are having a circle like thing. So let us try to pad this. Exit the sketch and go to pad, and we are having a dimension of, this is the top view of this, it is having 26 mm. So let us give 26 mm. So now we have created that partially. Now we have to create this circular portion here. We have drawn up to this particular point. So we have to create a circle over here, and from that circle we have to create this pad. Just select the surface and give sketch. So here we can draw a construction line. Okay, here we have to draw a circle. That circle should be having a radius of diameter of 40 mm, so the radius should be 20 mm. Radius is 20 mm. Okay, now we have to keep this center point exactly at the center. So the total dimension is 24 mm, so if you give 12 mm, that will go to the center. Okay, now we can exit the sketch and pad this. Go to pad and we can reverse the direction, and we need to pad this for the dimension of, so 30 minus 13, that is 17 mm. Okay, now we have created that. So what we have to do is we have to mirror this to that other side. So select that object, select that pad and go to mirror option. Here it is, and select the plane, and it will be mirrored like this. So now we have got this shape. So now we have to create a hexagonal face like this here up to 35 mm. So here we have to create a hexagonal face here. So already we have created that as a square. So now we have to change that as a hexagon. So create a sketch there and draw a hexagon. Okay, make that hexagon to octagon. Okay, now trim this. Trim the unwanted portion to make this hexagon as an octagon. Okay, then let us give the constraints. So this particular line should be here. So select both the lines and go to constraint and give coincidence. Okay, similarly this line should be here. So give that constraint and give coincidence. Also this line should be here. Okay, then give dimensions for this. If you don't know the dimension of any part, just assume a dimension, that's not a problem. Eleven mm will be remaining, so let us give 5.5 mm here. Okay, now let us give the pocket option and reverse the direction. Reverse this side, so the outer side will be removed, and let us give a depth of how much mm? 35 mm. Okay, now we got what we want, and now we have to create a hole over here. So for that you can use the hole option, otherwise we can simply sketch that and we can use this pocket option. The diameter of the hole is 20 mm. And depth is up to last. So now the center is not exactly positioned. 60 mm from this fillet. Okay, now let us try to use that. This is 60 mm. And this is 26 by 2, that is 13. Okay, now it is centered correctly. Okay, now we have to add some fillets here, here and here to make these surfaces smooth, or make this as a curvy surface, as you can see here. So here we are having a smooth curvy surface. So this curvy surface can be obtained by using an option called fillet. Well, let us see the dimensions of the fillets in this sheet. So here you can see this fillet radius is 25 mm, and this radius is not given. Let us take that from the another diagram, that is 20 mm. So let us give 25 mm here and 20 mm here, and also here also there is some fillet, but this dimension is not given. So let us assume some value, and let us select all these 4 lines or 4 edges. So if you want to rotate, click this rotate button and you can rotate this. Use control button to select multiple edges and give this edge fillet. So as given in this question, in this diagram, let us give this dimension as 25 mm. So now we can see the fillet is created for 25 mm here. Similarly here and here, actually we have to create, actually this is 25 mm. The fillet here is actually 20 mm. Okay, then so here fillet is created, here also fillet is created, and let us create a small fillet here. Three and 4. So let us give a small dimension like 5 mm. So I think that's enough here. So even 5 mm cannot be. Let us give that as 2 mm. Okay, now a small fillet is given here. So this will give you an isometric view. So now we have created what we have want. Also there is an extension as a circular extension here. So for creating that, we can simply pad by creating a circle. So let us see the dimensions. That is having a diameter of 20 mm, and we can have a small length like 15 mm or as you like. So let us create a small circle over here, click the surface and give sketch. So we know that the width of this square block is 24 mm, I think. Sorry, 26 mm. So 6 mm should be left over there. 3 on the left hand side and 3 on the right hand side. So let us try to give that dimension. This is 3 mm. Similarly 3 on the top side and 3 on the bottom side. Okay, now the circle has been centered. Let us exit the sketch and give the pad option. Let us give some value like 15 mm. Actually that is not given in the question, I think. Yes, that length is not given. Let us take that value as 15 mm, and now we have created what we want. Okay, then we have to create other parts. You can try on your own to create other parts, and we can do that assembly. Otherwise we will continue that in the next class. Thank you.